entering the town of Twin Peaks.
There was a fish in the percolator.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You are witnessing a front three-quarter view of two adults sharing a tender moment.
It is happening again.
Take another look, Sonny. It's going to happen again.
What kind of fantastic trees have you got growing around here?
I'm going to turn it upside down.
Sheriff, we got a lot to talk about.
Sheriff, we've got a whole lot to talk about.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So many things happen in this episode that I stopped writing notes completely. And now I'm worried I forgot stuff. And oh my God.
Let's do the intro. So, for everyone out there, this is Welcome to Twin Peaks Horror Hour with the Hannas. Twin Peaks Rewatch, Watch Along podcast. I don't know what we're calling it. So,
yeah,
whatever it is. It's Welcome to Twin Peaks. You know what it is.
Matt
what are
is
your hosts?
He's the second watch. No words.
That's
Matt
okay.
has seen the show before. I haven't.
Yeah, there it is. That's how we're doing it. And today we are talking about the season 1 finale.
Oh boy.
Which is a doozy of an episode in all the best ways.
I really struggled to think of a cherry pie cozy moment for this
too.
episode.
I did too.
I ended up coming up with one that I like, but it took me so long to get there.
Now, you know what? Even before I get into this whole episode, this is your first time watching and now you have finished season 1.
Yeah.
Let's heat check. Are you enjoying the show so far?
I am. The second this ended, I was like, I don't feel like getting on the mic right now, but I really want to start season 2. Mm-hmm. And that feels fucked up that I can't right now because I have a responsibility to handle first.
Yes.
And then because I didn't want to record, but I didn't want to not be watching the show, I just took a nap.
She was stuck in between.
Yeah. I panicked until I shut down completely and turned off. And
well, now we're recording
off,
so that you can watch the beginning of season 2 because season 2 does pick up right where season 1 leaves off.
I'm pumped. I'm so excited. So we'll be doing that after we record while we eat dinner.
I am so happy that you have enjoyed the show so far, considering this is one of my favorite shows, if not my favorite show of all time.
It's interesting. At what point were you like, this is one of my favorite shows?
When, I think, you have to finish all of it. Well, it wasn't that it was my favorite show of all time in season 1.
But you were like, this could be up there.
I was locked in. No, I think finishing the whole thing is when I was like, oh. I'm talking about The Return as well.
Gotcha.
The movie is awesome too.
I'm not there where I'm like, it's my favorite show, but I am really liking it.
Yeah. I think that's where I was upon finishing season 1. This finale is a big selling point. I always say the lock-in moment for me was when Cooper calls and says, I know who killed Laura Palmer. After having that dream.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was really I get this show. I know what it's going for.
Yeah.
And it's just really neat overall. So I'm glad you're enjoying. We can get more of a consensus on season 1 after. But I just wanted to know as the first time because I haven't asked yet. Do you like it?
I think it's been pretty obvious that I like
yes,
it. But yeah, you have not asked.
Okay, so as we said, tonight we are covering the finale, which is season 1, episode 7/8. You know how it is. Mm-hmm. And it is called The Last Evening. And it was written by Mark Frost, series creator, and directed by Mark Frost, series creator.
Yeah, Mark.
And this is Frost's first and only time directing an episode for the whole series.
Oh.
Yeah, he's one of the main writers and obviously series creator. This is his only direction.
I wonder why.
I don't think he's a director that much. He writes books, he's a writer, but yeah. So this came out on May 23rd, 1990 to 18.7 million viewers, up from 15.6 from last week. So,
God bless.
Well, it's the series finale.
Yeah, so of course
it's gonna pull people in.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was all kinds of good ads for it. Not that many fun facts on this one. So I have 2. Don't read my notes though.
Okay.
So the production designer, Richard Hoover, explained that the sound stages were constructed with ceilings and functional hallways, which was super unusual for TV at the time to do. Because these were all on sound stages. Usually they didn't have, functional
hallways
or ceilings. Mm-hmm. And the reason they did that was it allowed the actors to be filmed entering the scenes without any cuts.
Yeah, I like that.
It was pretty neat. And that's really all I had for this episode from reading. The other one that I realized is that Doc Hayward is... Donna's dad. He's been in a ton of episodes. Yeah. He's great. His name is Warren Frost, and that's Mark Frost's dad. I did not know that. Yeah.
Nepotism hire.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, hiring your dad. Had no idea of that, which is very funny. So
That's funny.
I'm sure other people know that, and I'm just the dumb one. But yeah,
Sure.
So Doc Hayward is the series creator's dad.
Damn, son.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, dad.
Yeah. So let's get into plot of this one. And so much happened, yet this plot feels very short. So
I actually looked up on Wikipedia the plot description because there was like a detail that I was like, is this noted here? And it literally wasn't in there. And I was like, this is pretty important. What the fuck?
I've also noticed going onto Wikipedia, there's some stuff that they're wrong about the plot or they're spoiling. So I definitely like edit down and change the plots to be my own words in some ways.
Okay.
So.
This plot description didn't even say anything about Leland. I'm pretty sure.
This one does. So
Okay.
I'm using a different one than Wikipedia. So
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the plot, for the finale of season 1, here we go. James and Donna find another tape in Jacoby's office. Jacoby suffers a heart attack after being attacked by an unseen assailant while searching for Laura, really Maddie in disguise. James, Donna, and Maddie listen to Laura's tape, discovering Laura was attracted to Leo Johnson despite knowing he was homicidal.
Okay, can we pause and discuss right there? What terrible taste in men to be into that guy. Not only, like... If you're just, like, being self-destructive and, like the thrill of this homicidal man, that's one thing. Okay, I can get it. Leo, the ponytail guy.
Well,
he's so
I
gross.
do think part of it is self-destruction.
He's
I also
uggo.
think there might be, it's not conclusive based on this tape yet, if I remember correctly. I wouldn't just assume. But
I just assumed because it talks
about the red Corvette.
About the red Corvette.
Yeah, but this show is never... I honestly don't remember exactly if she's definitely talking about him. But there is a level of self-destruction, as we know. Yeah. Anyway, so, as I will continue. At One Eye Jack's, Cooper poses as a drug financier and hires Jacques for a job, allowing him to be arrested on American soil after he brags about him and Leo having sex with Laura and Ronette the night of the murder. Andy shoots and injures Jacques during the arrest, saving Harry's life. Badass Andy moment. Leland, having heard Jacques is possibly Laura's killer, goes to the hospital and suffocates him, which was crazy. Yeah. Ben signs the deal with the Icelandians for the Ghostwood Estate project. Hank calls Catherine, who has discovered Josie stole the ledger, telling her the ledger is at the mill. Leo ambushes Shelley and ties her up at the mill and lights it on fire to make it look like a arson. Catherine arrives and frees Shelley, but it's unclear whether they escape. Bobby tips off the police, and James is arrested for the cocaine that he planted on his motorcycle. Hank shoots Leo to cover up the evidence of all of this. Lucy reveals to Andy that she's pregnant, and Andy looks scared and walks out.
Yeah.
To Audrey's horror, her first client at One Eye Jack's is the owner, her father, Benjamin Horne. And Cooper finds a secret letter from Audrey in his hotel room at the end of this whole night and doesn't read it. Because there's a knock at the door, he goes to the door, and an unseen assailant shoots him 3 times. And then we cut to black, and the season is over.
Yeah, that's so fucked. Like, I know that Cooper does not die. I know he's in more of the show. I have watched you watch the show.
Yes.
But if I did not know that...
Which the viewers at the time would not have known.
Holy panic.
Before we even get into general thoughts, I just need to try to list all of the plot threads that are all of them are unresolved, and yet I'm still so interested.
Yeah.
But let's talk about where this season 1 leaves us. Cooper is shot. Okay. Mm-hmm. James is arrested for cocaine. Mm-hmm. Bobby's on the loose. Mm-hmm. Nadine, who we didn't even talk about, has attempted suicide, which is very sad.
Yeah.
So...
I can't believe that's not the
Jacoby is attacked and is in the hospital. Mm-hmm. Jacques is killed by Leland. Leo is shot by Hank, who's on the loose.
Hank.
And is there anything... what else? Oh, Audrey is acting as a prostitute to help Coop and is now going to be her father is the patron that she... Or the person she will be escorting, supposedly. And is there anything... Oh, and Shelley and Lori Piper, Catherine, are in the lit on fire...
Burning mill.
Is that everything? Is that every plot thread that's loose heading into the end of this?
I don't know, dog.
I named a lot of them, though.
Yes, there's
it's
so
incredible,
many.
right?
Yeah, there's so much
I kind of
happening.
love it. But it's there is a lot going on here.
My modern equivalent that I can think of would be dark. And I don't know if I'm just saying that because of some of like the surreal elements in this one. Because obviously this isn't a blatant sci-fi like Dark is. But Dark has like the most amount of information I've ever had to remember. And like relationships that are super fucked up and confusing and like the craziest family trees ever. And that's kind of how I feel watching this, except this is somehow simpler than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a good comparison. And kind of insane for just this bombastic finale that's really, it's all kind of been leading up to this all season. And there were so many questions answered and so many questions
Not
further
answered.
complicated.
Well, and I'm kind of, this was ballsy as hell, because what if they didn't get renewed? Like, did they know it was renewed?
I could not find information on that because I tried to look it up.
That would be insane if they did not know for certain that they were renewed.
They must have been, because the end of the episode says to be continued.
Oh, yeah.
Which makes me think they knew. But I tried to look up because we knew like what these episodes cost and what was, and I could not find anything. All I know is Bob Iger was involved.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, this is a batshit episode. So let's talk about some general thoughts. And I have one that I need to bring up right away. You ready for this?
Okay.
Mark Frost is never getting enough credit for Twin Peaks because everyone really does think of Lynch so much. And I think now we kind of know that Lynch was on and off involved in the show. Like, obviously he like wrote the overarching parts of the show and directed episodes, but it sounds like he was kind of working on Wild at Heart throughout and was in and out. And I feel like Frost never gets the credit he deserves because this is clearly, so much of this is his baby, especially like the drama elements of the show and the character elements. And this is just such a good example of it. This whole episode I was on the edge of my seat this whole time because so much was happening that I was invested in, and everything was like my understanding of everyone was changing as the show was going.
Yeah.
Or this episode was going. I said, yep, this was bombastic and perfect, answered so many questions while also making all of it more complicated. This is the drama elements of the show at their finest.
I agree. I agree.
So shout out Mark Frost.
Yeah. Agree. There are a few like fun filmmaking things done here. Specifically, the one that I wrote down is that transition that like zooms in on eyeball and then transitions to roulette.
Yeah, I liked that one a lot.
Crazy.
It was really silly.
It was really silly. It was really funny though.
I will also say I love that reveal of Andy being the one that saves Harry's life when the gunshot goes off. And then it cuts to just Andy looking cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah,
holding the gun.
like,
this is a guy that's been kind of a dweeb all season in the most endearing way.
And like so nervous and
panicky, and clearly Cooper being there has had an effect on him. And that's kind of how I think about it, is like, or it's everyone has supported him and like continued to, he's a goofy guy and like seems like he might not be cut out to be a cop.
No, he's not.
But maybe he is. I don't know. It seems like he's been inspired, and I like seeing characters change as the series has gone on.
I'd be really interested. Well, I am really interested in how his development will continue. Like in season 2, is he this much of a, or before this episode, like you said, he was such a dweeb and like incompetent. Where is his competency going to be in season 2?
Well, he's always a dweeb.
How will he continue to develop? I'm really interested.
And they've also set up him with the pregnancy thing. Like they've set him up to regress, is what I would say.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It is still like has, I don't want to say sitcom elements, but those soap opera elements at heart where people are going to change, and like Cooper you see change, but they still are themselves. Like their core is never going to change too much. So, but we'll see. And as you know, season 2 gets a little silly in spots. So there's some really silly Andy shit in your future.
Okay.
All right. But I love that. Hanna was like cheering when we cut that it's Andy that shot Jacques to save.
I think I like yelled his name.
Also incredible. He didn't shoot to kill. He shot him in the arm.
Well, I was also like worried. I was gonna be like, oh god, what if Andy missed and actually did kill him?
Well,
or shot someone else. But
Andy's been practicing since Cooper told him to.
Good boy shit.
Yeah. All right, give me some of your general thoughts.
One of my thoughts or like notes that I wrote down is just like, it's kind of incredible how many people are involved in this fucking Mill storyline.
It's great.
There was something that happened in the episode and I just started singing, We're all in this together.
They really are.
Because I was like,
except for
what
Catherine,
the
who we
hell?
thought was in it together, and
I
is
know.
not.
Crazy.
It's funny, like, you come into the show and it's very much about the solving the murder initially, but I am invested and enthralled in this mill plot line, especially now that Catherine and Shelley are in the burning mill.
Well, see, I wasn't really. I was like, I don't really care about the adult storyline right now, or like their storyline, because I'm very invested in figuring out the Laura piece of everything, of course. But by this point, I'm like, okay, what the fuck? I think it was the addition of Hank coming into play that locked me into that storyline.
Really? Okay.
Because I was like,
This guy's scary.
What the fuck?
Hannah's scared of Hank.
Hank is, well, I'm scared of like many of the men in this show. They're all terrible.
as you're supposed to
I'm not
be.
scared of a single woman. I'm scared of like 19 men. But Hank's one of them. That guy sucks. He's terrible. He's horrifying. I don't know what to do with him.
Well, he is going to show up on my vibe check this week, so.
Yeah, I'm sure he's negative a million.
I had one more general thought, and that there was just so much sad stuff in this episode, which I know the whole show is very sad.
Yeah.
And it's sad in a good way. Like,
It was either shocking or sad. It was every single part of this episode.
I mean, obviously the Maddie thing and hearing Laura's tape to Jacoby is horrific and gross. This episode even made me feel for Jacoby a little bit.
Yeah.
Basically being like, I saw Laura, she called me, and then getting the shit kicked out of him.
Yeah.
Like, that had to mess with his psyche. And it's just like, I feel so much for Ed and Norma, who just like, they're trying to make this work, and now Hank's back in their life. Nadine just tried to commit suicide, which like Ed is really broken up over. And like, that made me so sad for Nadine, who I've almost been completely recontextualized on her. And I'll talk about that later. That's one of my notes. So, you got anything else in your general notes?
I had a clarifying question.
Yes.
So in Laura's tape to Jacoby, I didn't write down the whole thing. I wrote down like pieces of it, including, if I tell you his name, you might be in trouble. And then he's tried to kill me. I sure got off on it. Red Corvette, whatever. If I tell you his name, you might be in trouble. Why would Jacoby be in trouble? Did I miss something?
No.
That
You didn't miss anything.
Okay, so there was nothing said that answers that. So that's kind of like a question I would take forward, is why would he be in trouble based off the person that she was seeing?
Probably because he's a mandated reporter.
That was my next question. Is it just because she knows he's supposed to report that? Or because there's a deeper relationship between Jacoby and seemingly Leo?
That's a question to carry forward.
Okay, I guess I will put that on my questions. Because that's why I wanted to ask it right now as like a clarifying. Because I wasn't sure if I just like missed something by typing something down. Okay.
So.
Add that.
Let's, you want to get into vibe checks?
Yeah, let's. Well, let's talk about.
Oh, my bad. I
Special
skipped
Agent
one.
Cooper on the
I'm
case.
losing my mind. Special Agent Cooper on the case. That's you.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'm Special Agent Cooper,
I
but
know,
you're on
but
the case.
That's the prompt name. 3 moments that I think will matter later. There's a million moments that will matter later, but first, Josie had Hank kill her husband, seemingly, and was clearly a part of the plan for Catherine to be burned at the mill. What the actual fuck? That's moment 1. Moment 2, there's a masked figure that knocked out Jacoby, shot Cooper, etc. And third, everybody getting murdered or attempted murder. Leo was shot. Leland literally killed Jacques. Whatever his name is.
Yeah, Jacques.
Okay.
He did kill Jacques.
He literally killed Jacques. Leland, what the fuck? So those are like 3 moments. Everybody getting murdered.
Well, I mean, Leland's been a
can't
mess
break
all
those apart.
season, so.
Yes. I have a vibe check on him, so we can just move straight into my vibe checks if you would like.
I actually wanted to pull something up for your special agent on the case. Mm-hmm. So this poll was on TV before the finale. It came out on the 21st of May, 1990, where they asked a bunch of people and then put it on TV who they believed killed Laura Palmer at the time. And so
I'm guessing.
Go ahead. This was
Leo.
before the episode came out. Leo was on there. He was not number 1 though on this
Jacques.
poll. Jacques was not number 1 either. He was number 3.
I mean, I'm not going in order.
Oh, okay. Leo and Jacques. Yep.
Leland. Was he on
Very
there?
low on this. Actually, no. Leland was not on this at all.
Okay.
Liar.
Mostly because he's committing a murder in this episode.
Yeah.
Was Hank on there?
No.
Okay.
It was not. All right.
That does
How about
not
I read them
surprise
all?
me. Hold on. I know I'm clearly missing someone.
She's thinking hard.
Jacques.
Dead air.
Wait, who did I ask? Did I say Hank? No.
Yeah. Hank's
wasn't
not on here.
Who the fuck am I clearly? I know I'm clearly missing somebody.
Dr.
and I don't know why.
Jacoby.
Dr. Jacoby, yeah, he's
So
on there.
Dr. Jacoby's number 1 on this day. So Dr. Jacoby.
When was this list released?
Before this episode came out.
Okay.
Like 2 days before this episode came out.
Okay, I get why Dr. Jacoby would be number
Yes.
1 after last episode.
Yes. So it says who killed Laura Palmer and has percentages. So Dr. Jacoby, and then in parentheses, psychiatrist, 31% of the votes. Leo Johnson, truck driver, 17%. Jacques Renault, bartender, 11%. Bobby Briggs, football player,
No,
11%.
it's not Bobby.
James Hurley, motorcyclist, 8%.
I was gonna guess James, but I also think that's stupid.
Here's another good one. Still alive, 6%. I was like, I'm pretty sure we saw her body.
Yeah, no, I don't think she's still alive, but that would have been interesting.
Catherine Martell, sawmill manager, 4%.
No, I don't see that.
Benjamin Horn, hotel owner.
I was gonna say
4%.
Ben, and I didn't know if that was just a me thing because I think he's a creep. So
Now here's another really interesting one: is suicide, 3%.
yeah, she killed
Yeah.
herself and then wrapped herself.
Yeah,
in
wrapped herself in plastic, or she killed herself and someone did it. Oh, Leland was on here. Excuse me. They wrote Mr. Palmer, Laura's father, 3%. Dale Cooper, FBI agent, 1%.
Dumb. Who the fuck said
And
that?
well, it was 1%. And then Josie Packard, sawmill owner, 1%.
I don't know what her motivation would be, but
She's all over the place. So maybe she should have been higher.
Place, yeah.
But either way, I wanted to just read those to you before we got into everything, because that's funny that people were voting on it at this point. I would say there's no clear indicator other than Leo feels extremely suspect, but now he's
So
been shot.
obvious.
So it's going to make it a lot harder.
Yeah.
So for vibe checks, something I decided to do this week was only do negative ones.
Okay.
Nothing but negative.
I did not do that, but
Well, then you go
so-
first. I'll have
Well,
mine.
so negative. If we're going only negative, Dr. Jacoby, Hank, Ben.
No, let me do
Horn,
mine. You do yours.
Jacques.
You just took away all of my thunder.
Oh, were they the 4?
Well, now I'm going to
three
go.
or
I
two?
have Jacques at negative 1 million. I have Ben Jeff Epstein Horn at
Yep.
negative 1 million. I have Leo at negative 100,000 because he got shot, so like he's a little less scary. And I have Hank at negative 1 million.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Yeah, I can't believe you just stole all my thunder on that. So
I'm
those
so
are,
sorry,
yep.
bro.
Yeah, Ben maybe the worst, as you have now learned. For definitively, he is the owner of
He's
One Eye
so
Jacks,
disgusting.
which is across the border. Which is so even more insane. Like he has a department store. He has the manager of the department store grooming girls
Yes.
to then go work at his brothel casino
Yep.
across the border, which he also owns. So he is literally going after these girls from early on. So this gives a whole new meaning to him saying, I lost Laura 2 days ago, I lost you years ago, to Audrey, considering Laura and Ronette worked at the perfume department. So we can assume he had sex with Laura.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
because she probably worked at One Eye Jacks, which is insane and
so
foul and
disgusting.
disgusting.
So
And like for him to
disgusting.
be like, I lost her, and to have like this kind of feeling about her is horrible.
It's disgusting. It's also, it's gross regardless because this is an underage girl and you've groomed these.
Yes,
Children.
With a systemic or systematic.
Yes.
What word am I looking for? There's an
it-
industrial complex of girl grooming going
Yes.
on in Twin Peaks
It's
by Ben Horn.
Horrifying.
Yeah.
But even worse is his daughter is literally in the same grade
Great, and knows her.
and knows her.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that is so
No,
disgusting.
it's sickening.
Like
Yeah.
when there are those cases, because like there are obviously real life cases of this with like an adult, like a
No,
man.
he is literally Jeffrey Epstein of Twin Peaks.
Yeah, it's just
He's got
horrifying.
Epstein's Island is just One Eye Jacks.
Like literally, how are you? I mean, I simply
and
just
meanwhile,
couldn't be molesting
you-
anybody. But how are you molesting someone the same age as your child?
And he's also like a community leader of
Yeah.
Twin Peaks. It's crazy. That's why I said Twin Peaks is
Who
like a scary
allowed that?
place. I know.
Who let
well,
this
money,
man?
money.
Like, he's so gross.
He is. And what is really interesting about all this is what an awesome character. Like, I really am so compelled by this character.
Hate him.
You should. You love to hate him, though. Like, it is really good writing. And here's my fun fact. I recently learned that he was Tony in the original West Side Story movie. And I had no idea. So, Richard Bymere. Anyway, yeah, he's gross. Just needed to point that out there. So give us your vibe checks.
So gross. Okay, I didn't go all negative because I normally go mostly with the bad guys. Leland is really tough to get a read on.
Definitely.
So I am not going overly negative, but I am going to give him a 0 out of 10 for right now. You cannot trust a guy making choices like this, but it's really hard to know the motivation behind what he did. So it's tough to go negative.
It's grief. He's been a lunatic all season. But like, you can't...
But it's hard, but like...
You can't blame him.
Okay. I can't blame someone from struggling with grief, mental health, etc. I can blame you for killing a guy, though.
Definitely.
I can blame you for that. And obviously, like, we can't trust his decision-making. I have been able to anyway, but you really cannot trust this dude if he's literally out here murdering folks. And it, like, makes me question, obviously, what is the motivation behind that? Is it literally just a grief reaction? Because there are a few facial expressions they show of him that don't look like grief. It looks rather sinister, like they're planting seeds that there's something deeper with this character.
Definitely.
So it's tough to go negative. Again, I keep saying it because the grief and you feel really weird about him, but also, like, something's not right.
Can I say, I think this is also another example of the town failing a community member.
Yeah.
And it is very clear that this man needs help.
Yes.
Like psychiatric help.
Yes.
And you got Doc Hayward there, who is the town doctor that like delivered this guy's daughter.
Yeah.
And is just not doing anything other than being like, you need to go and be with your wife. And it's like, he does not need to go and be with his wife because his wife also needs like help. And it feels like no one is helping. He needs medication. Ben Horn is like, get him out of my life. Yeah. Again, this beloved community member, Jeff Epstein, Ben Horn. I really do feel that, and I see that, and it's like everyone just keeps ignoring each other. Everyone's talking past each other, and it's insane.
Yeah.
And even in this episode, an example of that is James comes to them and is like, this tape is important, and immediately they're like, we're arresting you for this cocaine. It's like even Cooper's not seeing past the ruse right now.
Yeah.
And it's everyone's talking past each other. No one's helping each other. And again, that's the horrors of this suburbia that I think they were really trying to get across here. This isolation. But yeah, somebody help Leland, please.
Yes.
So everyone, especially because everyone's seeing it and they're all just...
That's what's so tough. Again, it's like the bystander effect.
It's the exact same thing.
Is everyone just assuming that everyone else is going to help him?
Or is it
so we're just ignoring it? Or is it just willful ignorance?
People are awkward. People think it's awkward to see people in pain and they're just like, it's not my job. But it's like, this is your community. It is your job. That's the takeaway is like, help your community.
Yeah.
And that's why I love Big Ed. Because he seems to be someone that's constantly is trying to help the community.
Yeah.
And like I do think the police force here is as well, but they can't, just arrest this guy and be like, yeah, you need to go to a psychiatric hospital.
Yeah.
So.
Well, now they can.
Now they can, if they figure out who did it.
Fuck. Well.
No one knows.
Fuck.
He pulled the alarm and ran out. So.
I'm sure someone saw him go in there.
Yeah. All right, give us some more.
James, 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't think he's like a bad person. I think he is trying to make choices that in his head make sense to figure out the issues here. Like what
does
happened.
Laura say? He's just so dumb.
But he is so fucking stupid. He is so dumb.
Laura said it. He's sweet, but she's just had enough of sweet.
He's so dumb. Like, he is making these choices to, like, investigate shit without the police.
Well, he did try to go to them. He learned his lesson. He shouldn't have gone. They just arrested him.
Bruh, he didn't do a good enough job. This man's dumb. Also, he listens to that tape that Laura sent to Jacoby, and he says he was trying to help her.
Yeah, he didn't kill her. He was just trying to help her. And I was like, I don't know where you got that from.
I have no idea where you got any of that from. One, he totally still could have killed her, even receiving that tape. Two, where did you get that he was trying to help with fucking anything? What I think is very obvious from the tapes, and what we've heard too, what is very, very obvious is that this man was getting off on her being emotionally vulnerable and talking about sex to him.
Definitely. He was my
literally
take.
just getting off on
What do
this
you mean?
teenager.
He said she was the only patient he cared about.
Yeah, because
he
could get his rocks off by thinking about her sleeping with or being sexually assaulted by every man in town.
All right. Any other on your vibes?
Josie.
What about her?
I don't have a very good score. Right now I have -7 out of 10. And obviously it should be like, given we're out here giving like -10,000s and -1 millions, like she is bad. But it's hard because I struggle with, like, it seems like financial motivation, but what else is there to it?
Josie continues to remain maybe the most mysterious character in the show.
Yeah.
Which is funny considering everything going on. It's very unclear what her motives are, and I kind of like that about her. Especially her, like, being in a relationship with the sheriff that, like, we trust a lot, and now it's like she is really giving that femme fatale of, like, going to...
It's like, is she just with him
Or does she actually love
protect
him?
herself?
Yeah.
Or, yes.
And he even said he was like, I love her. And then Cooper was like, well, that's good enough for me if you trust her. And so now it's...
real tough.
Yeah.
Real tough.
It's she has definitely possibly manipulated him, whether she meant to or not. But it's going to manipulate the case, her relationship with Truman. Mm-hmm. So, cool. What else we got? Or are we all good on vibes?
The other thing I did want to ask you was, obviously, we have not met Laura. We only know about Laura from other people. In this episode, out of context from the others, where would your vibe check be?
I think it's
real tough.
I think it's literally impossible for me to give a vibe check having seen the show on Laura because my understanding of her is more complex than these episodes have allowed.
Yeah.
And I think she's
that's
an
fair.
amazing, compelling character that I would refuse to talk shit on, to be honest.
Yeah, well, and that's what's tough because, I mean, literally the last set of episodes that we talked about on here was where she was talking about how she tries to do good things,
But bad things
keep happening to her.
I think-
and she tried to be good, but she was really sick and rough.
I think Bobby said it best when he was like, she made me she made me deal cocaine so she could have it. Like she wanted to die. I think Laura is a extremely vulnerable person. I think that she is very hurt in these moments or these weeks leading up to her death. Very troubled and self-destructive. It really feels like she is doing things as an act of self-harm.
Yes.
And so maybe even being weird with Jacoby is part of that. Or she really hoped that Jacoby could help her and he didn't. I don't know at this point. So even though, she seems kind of like shady, it's like she was a 17-year-old that was being preyed upon by community leaders
child.
and was being assaulted by a creepy dude from Canada and an even creepier dude in Leo who is also her boyfriend's drug dealer. Like it's really awful, and so I find it hard to judge anything that's happening with her. But clearly there was a lot going on that either everyone was ignoring or had no idea of, and I kind of lean more towards everyone ignoring. So that it's hard to say. I said it's knowing too much. I can't really
that's
give
fair.
you a good answer.
That's fair.
Cool. Okay. Well, so I gave you the suspects everyone else had going in.
My
so who is your
suspects.
suspect of the week? I should have waited to this section. My bad.
I have 2 out of this week. Obviously, I've had other people on the list before. I'm not discounting them, but just going off of this episode for the most part, the suspects presented in this episode would be Leo and Leland, both because they are willing to commit murder. We see them kill people.
Yeah. I see both
And
of
they
these.
have clearly the violent tendencies to do that.
I think, yeah, those are would be where I was. Definitely Leo, as we said. Still feels too
Leo
easy.
is terrible.
The fact that they think Jacques did it is silly to me at this point because Jacques admitted to a lot of gross stuff. You think if he was going to confess to all that, he would also confess to the
Cooper
killing.
then says he's too stupid to lie.
He's too stupid to lie.
Cooper knows that now.
Yeah, he basically was like, yeah, I was with Laura, Leo, and Ronette. I had sex with both of them, and Leo was being very rough with Laura, and then Leo hit me on the head with a bottle, and I passed out outside. And then when I woke up, everyone was gone, and I had to walk home.
Yep.
So, like, I don't think it's Jacques at this point, but
Yeah.
we will never know because Leland killed him.
Yeah, and I also had that, like, last week, Jacques was a very compelling suspect. This week, if his report is correct, he was unconscious when she was killed, and Cooper says he's too stupid to lie, and I trust that instinct.
It's fun. That's my point about how so much has been answered, yet also everything has been complicated further.
Yes,
Which is a great way to end season 1. All right. I think those are good. All right. Who you trusting with your coffee this week?
I'm really struggling this week.
Do you want me to go? I'm definitive on who I'm trusting with my coffee this week.
Andy.
Yeah, that was mine.
Yeah, so Andy having, like, he was told, hey man, like,
Get your shit together.
Practice this, and he fucking did it. He listened to instructions.
He saved your baby boy's life. I love Sheriff Truman.
He saved Truman. So yes, I trust him, but I'm also kind of like, I don't want to pick the guy who's like a cop that's shooting people, even though it's justified in this case.
This is like one of the in times where
I don't feel good about it.
He also shot him in the arm. He disarmed him.
That's actually very true. Okay, yeah, I'll give you Andy.
Yeah. He was, listen, that guy was going to kill, Jacques was going to kill Truman. Andy shot him in the arm, didn't kill him. Leland killed him, but, because he was in the hospital. Mm-hmm. And Andy was cool, calm, and collected. This is the guy that was crying, taking photos of Laura at the beginning, which he has empathy. Mm-hmm. He's a sweet guy, and he's a good sketch artist and maybe becoming better at his job.
Yeah.
So, he's very trustworthy in my mind, which is also funny that there's that guy on YouTube that tried to solve it.
I was about to bring that up. Yeah.
I could actually see it a little bit here because he is... You're thinking maybe he's doing a usual suspects thing.
Yeah,
because all of a sudden in the moment he's like extremely competent. So I think it's like a funny idea. I do not think Andy did it though.
No. Yeah, I don't see that.
And as someone who watched the show, I won't say anything.
Well, obviously Andy didn't do it, so
I think it's pretty obvious Andy didn't do it. But.
That's so funny.
All right.
I also wanted to discuss Truman here because every week I'm like, obviously it's like Cooper and Truman.
Oh, I can always trust them.
But reflecting on Truman's judgment right now is real tough because he is dating someone who is suspect. Paid for 2 people to get murdered, most likely, seemingly. So that's tough.
He might be compromised.
Yeah. So it's like, buddy. Yeah. I trust you not a lot less with my coffee this week.
Mm-hmm. Which also then hurts Cooper a little bit too.
Mm-hmm. Because Cooper also has so much faith in Truman and is like, yeah, if you trust her, I trust her. So then I'm like, buddy. I want it to say Cooper because, in terms of his police investigation outside of the mill stuff, in this episode, he's killing it. He's killing the game.
Other than getting shot.
Yeah, but that's a different thing.
I added a section that I've been talking about every week, but I've never brought it up, a section called Is Cooper Good at His Job? And I realized it's not, is he good at his job? It's more, let's see how he has changed as a character that has affected how he's done his job. Because I think he remains good at his job, but I think his morals change each week based on the town. And the one thing I wanted to point out this year is my guy went across country lines to convince somebody to come back on their own volition to arrest them.
Yeah.
That is...
You can't do that.
Well, kind of badass, but also
smart.
Yeah, so I'm like, holy hell, if you get caught doing this guy's going to walk. Well, not now, because he's dead. But also, he convinced him to go back pretending not to be part of the FBI, and then they were able to arrest him. That's going to, I don't know, that might hold up in court. But it's funny, his morals are, we need to figure this out. This town needs this closure, so I'm going to do something very illegal. And by going across the country lines as an FBI agent. But from a moral standpoint, I get it, dude. I think, again, we'd all do the same thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know if Cooper day one would be doing something like this, but Cooper by
I don't get the vibe
1
he would.
week in, he would. 1 week in Twin Peaks. What 1 week in Twin Peaks does to a motherfucker. So, just something I want to think. It's fun to see his change. So, I've said it every week. All right, let's do some cherry pie versus Black Lodge moments.
Okay, my cherry pie moment, my coziest moment, is Cooper being really pumped about room service.
Talking to Diane.
Yes.
One of the greatest modern inventions.
This episode has nothing cozy about it until that moment. That's the only moment I could think of whatsoever. But it was kind of precious, and I agree. Every time I'm in a hotel, I always try and convince Matt to get room service, and we never do it because Matt doesn't want to do it. But
I feel so weird about getting it.
Well, he feels weird about eating in a bed.
I don't like eating in a bed.
Also, sometimes it costs extra.
Yeah.
And that we're not doing.
Feels lazy to me.
Yeah, but sometimes, like, we went on an anniversary weekend to a spa. Like, bitch, it's
you want
all about
breakfast
relaxing.
in bed. I just don't feel it. I don't want to be served. I don't want to be waited on in bed. It makes me feel awkward.
They bring it to your room. It's not like they're, like...
Oh, they're not going to, like, come in and lay it on my
pouncing
belly.
in on you.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
Hey, half-naked man laying in bed.
That's what it feels like to me.
In your pajama bottoms. Yeah. Like, here you go. Let me tuck you in. That's not what's happening.
All right. Maybe next time.
So I agree with him. I also get pumped at the concept of room service, even though I've probably only used it like one time in my whole life.
All right. Yep. Well, for my cherry pie moment, I also wrote none, but I also wrote that I wanted to talk about Nadine's suicide attempt.
Oh, that's so cozy. I am so cozy. So cherry pie.
Can you hear me out for a second on it? All right. I brought it up for a reason. You trust me. I'm smart.
Obviously. Go ahead.
I found that the suicide, while not a cozy moment, really recontextualizes what felt like a standoffish and mean character and made me feel a lot of things about her and about Twin Peaks in general. And it kind of felt like it could fit under my cherry pie moment, which is like the sense of longing that everyone has and the emptiness that these people have. And the fact that this character I thought was mean, all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, like Nadine, I feel so like horrible for feeling these things because clearly you are a hurt person as well.
See, I feel like they recontextualized her before this. Like, I don't think it needed this episode for me to understand that about her.
I think it really hit here though to that she is this unhappy.
Yeah, that's true.
And it really like, and to then see Ed's reaction, even though he doesn't want to be in the relationship with her, to like feel that love that is still there for her. Really, I felt a lot. So that's why it wasn't that it was cozy. It was just, it made me feel a lot of things. They weren't negative. It was more like, I like Nadine. And it's very sad. So I hope that she pulls through.
I know you do your somewhere in between section.
I do have a somewhere in between.
I have not done that yet because I don't need to. I don't care. But I feel like that's
Stop
a somewhere.
Shitting on my sections. All right.
I'm not. I'm just saying that I'm doing enough. I don't need to do that.
Okay.
But if you want to do it, go ahead. I think that's a somewhere in between.
Okay. Well, I do have a different somewhere in between. And my somewhere in between was I wrote Pete frowny face. Because he is so sweet and great, but you are caring about Catherine, who is not the person to be caring about.
She does not like you,
She comes to him and is crying and is like, you're the only one I can turn to. I'm in trouble. And he's like, hugs her. He's like, oh, Catherine, like,
and
I'll do it.
And the face she makes.
And
she's so repulsed by him.
Manipulating him. But I'm like, Pete, like, I love you. Jack Dance. And then he goes into the burning sawmill at the end. He's like, if she's in there, I gotta save her.
Bro, don't do that.
Yeah, so Pete,
don't do that,
like,
bro.
I
Let
love
her
you.
Burn.
You were so cozy. Well, Shelly's in there too. But you were so cozy. I love you, but stop being manipulated by a bad person. So that's my in-between.
He's tough. Right. He's real tough.
Hit me with your Black Lodge moment.
This whole episode is a Black Lodge moment. My number one, I have like a 1A and 1B, but there's so many, obviously. We'll go 1A, Leland murdering Jacques.
Yeah.
1B is Audrey's father walking in on her as the new girl at One-Eye Jack's.
That's more of the I puke in my mouth moment, which maybe we need to add.
But that's unsettling as hell. I think that counts.
All right, I like both.
That was horrifying to me.
I actually have a different one. Okay. Don't read my notes, though.
Well, can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because they might come up. Leo attempting to murder his wife. Learning how wrapped up Hank is in all of the drama and knowing he is married to one of the least problematic beings in the town of Twin Peaks is just real tough. Obviously, the Dr. Jacoby tapes. And I was like, I think a suicide attempt would fall under this for me, but I understand what you were saying about recontextualizing.
Yeah, it's very sad, but it's not like the unsettling, because it's interesting to see how her character has led up to this moment and how she's like so much softer now, and it makes me very sad. And like, makes me,
I understand. We don't need to rehash.
Sorry,
it
it was just it's one of those magic moments of this show, though, is to do stuff like this. And you and I were both like, no, Nadine, no, and it's like felt like this goofy one-off character, and now we're both like very attached to her. Okay, my Black Lodge moment you didn't bring up was Jacques talking about the night Laura died, and talking about bite the bullet, baby, as Leo had her tied up and Waldo was biting her because Waldo had a crush on Laura.
That was
and she
horrifying.
Was biting through the chips of the One-Eyed Jack's poker chips.
Yeah.
That was nauseating, and it was like a close-up of Jacques' mouth.
And he's gross.
You almost feel that Cooper is like a minute away from like killing this guy himself and like throttling him. And Cooper's like, there's anger.
I don't get that, but I
felt that way. Like I
think because we feel that way, we might be projecting that onto Cooper. But obviously, I think Cooper's
not happy. Cooper's disgusted. Yeah, but he has to like keep it. And then the Laura recording just makes me feel all kinds of things.
Horrible.
Her voice is so good, and like it's great.
Well, it's also because her voice is very young.
Yeah.
So I think it makes it even worse to hear these things. Like we know that she is a child. But then we hear her voice, and it really is like another reminder of how young she is, because she sounds young.
Well, no one else in town knows how young she is, at least all the adult men in town.
Apparently.
Once again, Lynch making... Well, I said we got to give Mark Frost more credit at the beginning of the episode, but we've always talked about Lynch making shows, movies about abuse against women and men abusing women, and how people ignore it and allow it to happen. And here's another example. So, all right... Notes for Diane.
Okay.
What notes do you have for Diane today?
I have a ton of questions.
Besides room service being a modern miracle.
Yes. So
miracle, sorry. That was so Pittsburghese of me.
Miracle. Questions I am carrying forward. Is there any significance behind Audrey's pick of the Queen of Diamonds?
I don't remember at all. I think it's just cool. Because she's a queen. But she could be the Queen of Hearts. She's a sharp queen.
Yeah, I was she is like... All of her narrative right now is queen shit.
It just feels right.
It felt right, but I was just wondering.
It's got to be a red one, too. You got to have a red queen. And it's not going to be hearts. Yeah. She ain't no Queen of Hearts.
Okay, I was just...
No, I know.
If there's more significance to that, or if it's just like
cool
imagery.
I don't think so. Not that you need to know.
Okay. Is Lucy's baby Andy's?
Carry that question forward.
Uh-oh. All right.
He had a weird reaction, right?
That's tough. Okay. Will there be consequences behind Cooper knowing James was involved in the Jacoby scheme? What will the consequences be for James here?
That is a great question. I think
I will get that probably pretty soon.
Yeah.
Why is Jacoby so obsessed with tropical shit?
Because he's a weird dude. Have you seen how he dressed?
So weird. Well, I asked who allowed him to dress himself in the last episode, so it continues.
That's the kind of guy that, gets off to talking to 17-year-old girls about their sex life and not helping them.
Yep.
He literally became a therapist just to do shit like that, is how it feels.
That's how it feels.
And he basically said that. So
disgusting.
He wants to know everyone's secrets, but he doesn't want to actually help them.
No.
Him also saying horrible, crazy shit to Bobby about his sex life.
Yeah. So. Horrifying. Yeah. What is Truman going to do when he learns Josie is responsible for the mill incident and killing her husband?
Question mark.
Will he know? How will that come out? What will he do?
I don't think you need to carry that one forward.
I think
there's a lot. Yeah, it's a good question.
I'll get it at some point. Is Nadine dead? And how does this impact how Big Ed navigates his relationship with Norma?
All the questions you asked are just good.
Yeah.
But none of them I'm like, nope. That's coming up.
Yeah. I assume so.
Yeah.
Why did Laura convince Ronette to do the ad?
Ooh.
Is this just kind of one of her dragging other people down into her darkness? Or is there like more specifics here?
Sad. I can't say anything.
Yeah, that's fine. Where did she, Ronette, and Leo go when Jacques was knocked out?
Jacques. Sorry, I keep saying that too. Jacques.
Shock. Sorry, every time
was
I
that
look
cool?
at this man's name.
I want to say Jacques still. So
Yeah, my bad. Have I done that earlier? I thought
No,
I've
I
only
have.
said Jacques. Okay. Jacques. When he was unconscious, where the fuck did she run at? And Leo go? We already talked about if I tell you his name, you might be in trouble, and that is something that you said I should carry forward. Yes?
No, I mean, I to be honest, I don't remember
Okay.
what all that means.
Interesting.
I think it kind of means what we think it means. But
Okay. Why did the bird attack Laura if seemingly the bird loved her?
It was love pecks. They said that.
Well, he said love pecks, but it seems like it got more violent than that. Because...
No, I think it was just, I don't know. I don't think you need to carry that one forward.
Okay. What will be the legal consequences to Leland committing
Definitely
murder?
carry that one forward. There is going to be a lot about that, actually.
That is unsurprising.
In a very entertaining way. That's not a spoiler to say, right?
No, I think that's fine. And finally, who is the masked figure?
You know what? I don't remember.
That's hilarious.
I think I know. I do not remember, which is very funny.
That's so funny.
Yep.
And so a reminder of questions that we were carrying forward before is why specifically did Laura start using coke again? What triggered it? We've talked about that.
I think we kind of know the answer, but yeah.
Yeah. Does the specific letter R under Laura's nail have significance? Why was Laura pecked by the bird? We got that answer.
I think we got that answer. Yep. The bird also was, everyone was in love with Laura. Laura's just, she just, what'd she say to Jacoby? Why is it so easy to make guys like me?
Yeah, that was tough.
Sad.
How long has Laura and her mother had, quote, dreams? And why is the log lady so worried about owls? So we will keep those.
These are all great questions. And then you have 2 more you're adding.
Yes.
Cool. All right. So let's do 2 things. We're going to rate this episode, and then I want you to rate the season as a whole.
Okay.
I will tell you mine for both. This episode specifically is in all caps, a damn fine cup of coffee. And what I really like and what separates it is there's not any surrealist elements to this one. This is a Mark Frost,
true.
like,
Yeah.
we're going to do the drama, we're going to tie up loose ends, we're going to create more ends. And I love the surrealist stuff, but I think it's really impressive to have this damn fine cup of coffee where it is just a bombastic, edge-of-your-seat finale.
It is so interesting how the surrealist elements kind of go in and out, depending on...
Who's directing?
Yes, but also, like, the specific plot points of the episode.
Definitely. And I think that's another magic thing about the show is you're taking Lynch and Mark Frost together, who are good at 2 very different things, and combining them is what makes this so interesting and gives the town its eerie feel. Mm-hmm. And I've kind of compared it to It before, and the idea of that there's like a seediness or an existential evil to the town. And that's the tone of the show. Lynch has set the tone. Mark Frost is setting the characters and their development, and then they kind of come together. Mm-hmm. So you can't have every episode be surrealist and scary because it is better when you lose that and you forget, and then they hit you with it.
Yeah.
So just get ready for season 2.
Yeah.
And this whole season is a damn fine cup of coffee.
Yeah.
It's really an awesome first season of TV that
Yeah.
really fun. There's very few seasons of TV that can be this like perfect, I would say, from like beginning to end, especially that pilot. So, how you feeling?
I would give this episode a damn fine cup of coffee served with a nice warm slice of pie.
Oh, so that's even higher. Cherry pie, to be specific.
For me personally, it would be apple pie.
Or rhubarb.
Or a rhubarb pie, but in the context of the show, I suppose it would
It's
be
cherry
a
pie.
cherry pie. And then as a season, yeah, I would go a damn fine cup of coffee.
All right. It makes me so happy you like this show.
Yeah, I'm into it.
I've been begging for years, so I'm glad it took a podcast to make it happen.
That was what finally I was like, one, this is just a funny New Year's resolution.
To watch Twin Peaks.
I'm going to
It's an easy one.
Well, I didn't ever do my New Year's resolutions, truly. I never have enough motivation.
No, you do.
So I thought that was a funny one. And also, too, I was like, that'll be fun to podcast on. So
I'm having a
fuck
great
it,
time.
Let's do it.
I've had so much fun podcasting with this on you. You can tell how motivated I've been. So
Yes,
I hope
you're
everyone's
actually
out there
doing
listening.
background.
I'm doing the background. The background's so interesting for this. That's why.
Yeah, I think it's interesting for some of the movies we cover, too, but you've never done it.
Yeah. I also will say talking about this show is really fun because I said it before, I think with TV being multiple directors and writers, it's so interesting to see how there's this overarching narrative and how each episode's a little different.
Yeah.
And I think for what I was reading up on, people were like, no one understands how bad TV in the 90s was. They said something about that, and it was like Twin Peaks was like a breath of fresh air, but it was also probably a little too weird for people.
Yeah, I see that 1,000%.
So
the thing is we would be talking about the show anyway. Like, we'd be having these conversations.
These exact conversations.
Regardless of if they were on the mic or not. So they might as well be on the mic.
I will say, and I'm probably going to ask this again, Jason Seaman, our good pal, begged me to watch this show and has bugged everybody. And it took me a while. And then I watched it and I was like, oh, I get it. I get it. And I was like, I am now a missionary of Twin Peaks. Because it really still feels like a cult classic show. There's still so many people that have never watched the whole thing or haven't watched it. Yeah. And so now I'm out here. I've taken on the role of Jason to be like, friends, please watch this. And I still haven't been able to get anyone to watch it.
Hi.
Until you.
I am here.
I know. And so now I said I texted Britt, who has been on the show, and I said, I was like, Hanna is now a new missionary of Twin Peaks. So I welcome you in. So now it is your burden to get people to watch this show, as it has been mine for over a year. I suppose
it is.
Yeah.
Well, I was working on someone yesterday.
Friends. We're working on Casey and Preston. We're working on so many people. Yeah. So I'm like, just you. And I will say, do you understand now why?
I get it.
And like why it's so hard to sell.
Oh, I really get that.
Yeah. How do you sell this? How do I explain what the show is and why it's going to suck you in?
It is a tough sell because you also want to make sure people are warned about the tone. But then if you kind of explain the tone and the soap opera of it all, that leads you astray. But that's also, you need to know that to watch the show.
I always try to use The Return as my selling point. I was like, listen, it got canceled after 2 seasons and came back 25 years later in universe and in show. And that seems like a selling point, but it still hasn't worked on a lot of people other than you.
Haha.
So you are now the newest. This is your burden now, as I've said. So I hope hopefully we get some of them to watch it by listening to this podcast. So
I have a friend who watched the same, mock telenovela with me, so I'm like, maybe I'll get her on board with the soap opera of it, Celine.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Celine would love this.
And her favorite book is Gone Girl, so she likes a mystery.
Well, shout out Celine if you're listening right now.
Hopefully.
We'll have her call in or something.
If she watches.
Yeah.
Fingies crossed.
We're working on it. Well, my mom's going to watch. Shout out, Mom.
Shout out, Kate.
Speaking of call-ins, we now have our call-in segment, Messages from the Log, so let's check out the voicemail.
Hi guys, Jason calling, the person that got Matt to start watching the show. I'm watching it along with you guys as you release episodes and having a lot of fun. This will be my 3rd time through the series front to back. Thoughts about this episode. I've forgotten how much stuff happens in the season 1 finale. It's absolutely crazy. One of my favorite scenes is outside of One-Eyed Jack's when Cooper and Jacques are talking. Jacques is describing in vivid detail everything that happened at his cabin the night that Lara died, and Cooper looks like he is on the verge of losing it the entire time. You're seeing that insight into Jacques and how he knows that Lara was murdered later that night and could not care less because Lara and Renette are just disposable people to him. And I look forward to seeing how things progress in season 2. I'm going into it this time. I started taking everything very seriously, looking at stuff like the murder. The murder is horrifying. The line with Renette in the hospital saying she probably saw everything that happened. That's also terrible. Seeing the grief of the town, very serious subjects. But also as it goes on, I'm enjoying a lot more of the soap opera aspects than I did in the past. I just think it's really fun seeing the increasingly elaborate plots around the mill and the double, triple, quadruple crossing, the bird assassination. I just think it says a lot about the writing that those can both work with the same lines. But otherwise, as always, I'm loving the character interactions. You have Coop and Truman, obviously. I love Albert. You'll love Albert later on too. And I get frustrated a lot by James, Donna, and Maddie just because, not because I dislike them, but because they are high schoolers and they're doing stupid things, and I find myself shouting, why? Why are you doing this? But also, despite all of the ickiness with Ben and Jerry and One-Eyed Jacks, their interactions are something that I love. I'm very fond of Jerry because I vividly remember his introduction with the butter and brioche sandwiches, and thinking for the first time watching that, wondering what kind of show am I watching, because it was such a shift from what I had seen up to that point.
Well, thank you, Jason, for calling in. And that's also hilarious that I had just mentioned that he was the first disciple of Twin Peaks to get me to watch the show.
Incredible timing.
Yeah. So he said a lot of really good things, and I don't really know how much to add to it. I think he's feeling a lot of things we did. Yeah. Maybe just the thing about Jerry being a moment of what the hell am I watching? The brie and butter baguettes.
I think the moment that involves him that I was most like, what the hell am I watching, is when they all are dancing and Ben gets on the desk to be dancing.
Oh, yeah, he hits the gritty. That
moment was insane.
Are kids still doing the gritty? I don't think so.
I don't know.
We're past that time.
I've never once done the gritty. I'm not sure I know what it is.
I don't know if you could, to be honest.
I don't think I could. No, I'm not good at those things. I liked what he was talking about with Coop and Jacques. With Coop having this insight into Jacques, realizing that Laura and Renette were totally disposable to him, and like how we know that, and we can sense that Coop knows that as well.
We really get to see
responses.
Angry Coop, and I like angry Coop. It's scary also, when it's everyone shivers when the nice guy loses his temper.
But like he has the right to be frustrated, angry, losing his temper, whatever you want to call it. I think his reactions are completely valid because it is actively disgusting.
And it portrays his change as a character from, the hardened FBI agent that's seeing this all the time into the more holistic person that cares about each individual life that like Twin Peaks is bestowing upon him. So
I also thought it was funny that Jason mentioned enjoying the soap opera aspects more on rewatch than he did on first watch, because that's something that you've been saying throughout the watch, that the comedic moments are hitting for you maybe a little more this watch compared to first watch. And there are moments where I'm like, and you're like, oh, I'd like it way more this time. For example, bird assassination.
I love the bird assassination the first time.
But that's one of the examples Jason brought to the table. I think that is a very funny observation, because I know for me, I'm also struggling this time around to appreciate some of the weirder senses of humor.
Definitely. And I think that's something, maybe it does take multiple watches, but hopefully you can take this advice from both Jason and I and to just try to force yourself to enjoy when things get a little sillier.
We'll see.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, thank you, Jason, for calling in. And for anyone else who wants to call in, what's the number?
215-821-9584.
So if you want to deliver a message from the log, please feel free to call in, and you're going to get played on the show, most likely.
Again, that number is 215-821-9584, and it will also be in the episode description and on our socials.
All right. Well, I think that I can't speak, but just about wraps up season 1, and we have a lot more investigating to do, Sheriff.
So much.
So I'm along for the ride with you in solving this mystery. The mystery of the show, really, too. Yeah. And let me tell you, people still are debating by the end what this show means.
What it means, yeah.
And as Lynch would say, it means whatever you want it to mean. He would never explain. So thank you, everyone, for listening. This has been Welcome to Twin Peaks. And you've just completed season 1. Get geared up for a much longer season 2. So I've been Special Agent Hanna.
And I guess I'm Sheriff Hanna.
We've said it multiple times, and we will catch you at the next one with a fresh cup of coffee.
Thank you for listening to Welcome to Twin Peaks, a Twin Peaks rewatch podcast from Horror Hour with the Hannas. If you liked the episode, please make sure to give us a 5-star review on your favorite podcasting app. If you'd like to call into the show, call us at 215-821-9584. You can find us on the socials at Welcome to Twin Peaks Podcast on Instagram, or at our original account at Horror Hour Hannas on TikTok. Come back soon for more Coop, coffee, and cream corn.